I started personal training and it started working. I was in that small space for 3 years. You got to become good at your craft locally. I used to say, I got to be good on the east side of Columbus before I can even be one of the best in Columbus.
For you, when did it seem like things took off?
I understood consistency at a young age. I am not that talented. Not the best lifter in my own gym, not the most jacked. I realized early that people aren't consistent. Even great people sometimes. I'm like, ooh, okay, they're good at this, but I'll still beat them eventually because they're just not consistent. That's part of the stuff I'm really proud of, these type of things that are happening, because I've been dreaming about these things and working for them for a really long time.
And we are live. Cory, how are you, brother?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me today. I'm excited to chop it up and see what kind of value we can offer.
I'm excited to chat with you, man. My buddy Andrew, who I've interacted with multiple times, he's the one that does all the podcast edits for me. He got me in touch with you and he recommended you as a guest. I'm all right, if you vouch for him, then I'll take him on for sure. So I'm excited to chat with you as well, man.
I got a story for you about Andrew. So I was on Mark's podcast years ago and it was Andrew's first day. Working
really?
ever. Like, I don't even know if he knew Mark that well at that point. And I was the guest that day, got a chance to chop it up with him. I think he just resonated with my story and kind of how I operate. And we just really been friends ever since. So it's been fun for me to cheer from afar. I live in Ohio, right? I don't see him very often, but to see him just evolve and his own fitness and the way that he's operated, and obviously as Mark and them have built that show. And so, yeah, it's been a cool random timing of his first show and me just being out there. It's been cool to watch Drew just grow and be around the industry in general. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it is an awesome job. I mean, he's a freaking
Great.
rock star, man. So I'm excited to chat with you. He mentioned that you had like bought an island and you just mentioned that you live in Ohio. I'm assuming the island's not in Ohio, right?
No, it is. Yeah. It's on a lake in Ohio. Yeah. So I live on the east side of Columbus, real close to a D3 university that's pretty well known called Denison University. So it's like 40 minutes outside of the city. There's a lake in Ohio that's the oldest man-made lake here. It was actually part of the canal system, like Peaky Blinders type stuff, like where they would bring trade from like the bottom of the state all the way to the top. Well, in 1866 or something like that, they made it wider, made it less of a marsh and a canal system, more of a lake. So it's the oldest man-made lake in Ohio. During that process, because they're hand digging this thing, right? This is back in the day. They made a bunch of islands. And so there's been a lot of old money Columbus that have owned islands out there for a really long time. The guy who started Wendy's, Dave Thomas, had an island there for a really long time. The people who own our big newspaper, which is like our Gazette, it's called the Columbus Dispatch, who I believe owned like the soccer team and all that. They had a big island there. And there was just I just didn't even realize there was still one available. This one had been sitting there that whole time. This lady bought it in like the early 90s, never did anything with it. And it was on Zillow one day. And I was just like, yo, never drove a boat before. was on this lake one time ever in my life, like for dinner one time. Not a big water sports guy. Like, this doesn't have really any... Like, this isn't what I was like looking for, but I've always been looking for, my whole overarching thing, you'll understand as you talk to me, is about long-term trajectory change, like legacy from a standpoint of like growing up the way I did and just like really changing everything for my family history and tree. This was a legacy piece of property, I thought, that could be like these other essentially like wealthy families. They pass it down, the grandkids and kids, and, multi-million-dollar type of piece of real estate. And so, so I just started daydreaming about it, went and looked at it, didn't know shit about any of it, like running utilities under the water, like all kinds of crazy stuff, bro. But I tackled it. My intuition was super loud. I swam over to it. I stood on it. It was like a jungle. Hasn't been touched since literally it was created like, and kind of made late 1800s. And so, I tackled that thing head on. And man, this will be my fourth boating season. I bought it in August or like July of 23. I built a shipping container house and gym on it, basically developed a property, and I learned a lot about myself, and I learned, it reminded me a lot about myself too. That's a good way to explain it.
That's crazy, man. So how big is the island itself, like from an acreage standpoint?
It's 1.55 acres.
You got a gym on there. You got a storage container house. That's pretty legit, man. It's like your own little, oasis.
No, it's definitely what it is, man. It's super sick. Yeah, the house is created by 6 shipping containers, 4 40s, 2 20s. We got the indoor gym in the 220s that has garage doors that open up to the water. And then I got Sornex hooked me up. I've got outdoor Sornex racks, squat racks and stuff. It is Muscle Island, so I got to have outdoor and indoor equipment. I host events there for Max Effort, so we have people come from all over the country to come to like our in-person events. And yeah, it's got a basketball court on the backside. I mean, this is like a 3-year process of like me literally going with chainsaws and cutting stuff down and like really like working on the property. I come from like a blue collar community. I was a coal miner growing up. I just grew up around coal mining and steel workers and construction and that. And I didn't really pick up a lot of the construction part, but I know how to work and figure it out. And so like I just kind of leaned on a lot of those type of things and got around the right people and really built something I'm super proud of. That I had a lot of adversity because it was sitting there for a reason for that long. Let's put it that way. But I felt like I was the right person with the right mentality to tackle it and create something that came from just like a daydream of me riding around a boat going, man, this looks like a train wreck, mess of trees, jungle. And I thought like, how the hell am I going to get there? I don't even have a boat. I don't even know how to drive one. Like, I mean, there's like so many first. And I think that I've been in business, man, since 99. So, I've been an entrepreneur 26, 27 years. It was a good project for me, once again, to remind myself of move with confidence, listen to your intuition, try to create something from this mind, bring it to, to believe in things you can see and touch is no belief at all, but to believe in the unseen is a triumph and a blessing. I got that tattooed on my arm. It's an Abraham Lincoln quote. And it's like, I see a lot of what I created for my life in here. I put a lot of aggressive, relentless action around it. And I've seen wild things happen in my life. And I've always listened to my intuition and put like, when it's real, I just put real action around it. And, I've built confidence in myself to work through adversity. And I've done some wild things. This was just one of those things.
I want to hear all about the wild things, man. How does one go from being a coal miner to successful entrepreneur? Like, what does that trajectory look like for you?
Yeah, what's crazy is I'm gonna turn back the clock for a sec. I was in coal mines in '98, so I'm in the coal. I'm a 4th generation coal miner. So everybody I know, grandfather, great grandfather died in the coal mines. My dad, my uncles, they all coal miners. A lot of them lift weights though too. See, that's the other part. They weren't like crazy on their diet and stuff, but they were all like 275, 300-pound benchers, guys who lifted weights after work and steel toes and was in the basement. And like, so that was represent. My mom worked out too. I remember her doing like exercise records and her doing like the ab wheel, but it was a rolling pin for like bread. Like I remember like this type of stuff growing up, which was really cool. But it was one of those things where I just realized that really none of my family liked their jobs, man. They like lifting weights. They like doing other things, but they didn't really like their jobs. And it felt like, I just felt like I didn't really want to sign up for that. And my mom and dad ended up splitting up when I was like 10 or 11. And so I grew up in a single parent household. My mom was a waitress and then worked some other odd jobs and just like really struggled to make it. So I was about 15, man. I was just like, man, this ain't for me. Like, it just ain't for me. And I used to tell myself things like I'm meant to do great things. I mean, I thought I was going to be a pro athlete like everyone else does at one point with their kids, right? But the only thing I like to do is lift weights. I was terrible at school. I didn't realize I was smart in a different way because there's no material, but there's no internet. There's no access. I've never met. Think about this. In 1997, when I graduate high school, and I think I want to be a personal trainer, which is a fictitious job that they have in California, not in coal country, Ohio. I've never met a personal trainer before. It didn't exist. So I'm like thinking, but I even believed I could do it then, which is crazy. I don't even know why I even thought that. But I saved all my money from the coal mine. I worked 70 to, honestly, my highest grossing week of hours was 93 hours. I got like 50 hours overtime. Like I was a beast, bro. And I just really like locked in for like 4 months, saved a bunch of money, moved to Columbus to go to a 1-year exercise. I got my 1-year exercise specialist at a community college here in Columbus. And that kind of started my situation on like, I got a round one trainer that was working and doing well. I started to understand what the business, and then that Irene, man, she gave me $20 and I was teaching her bicep curls, and I ain't never thought the same way since then. I was like, oh, this is now math. I need 20 Irenes and this is a fucking wrap. And so, yeah, I started as, man, I wasn't even done with school yet. I was probably in college for like 6 months, and I started taking clients. And when I graduated, I had about 12 clients. I'm like, man, I was 20 and a half. I wasn't even 21 yet. The gym I was like renting space out of started giving me some problems. I just put 4,000 on a credit card because I had some money, so I was able to get one. Borrowed 1,000 from my dude, opened my own studio. It was real bare bones. Actually, the room I'm in right now is actually bigger. That's actually my studio is bigger than my actual personal training studio was back then. It was about 900 square feet. I just went and opened my own place, man. Like I said, fuck it. I got nothing to lose. I can't even believe from where I'm at a year ago, working underground, 600 feet underground, up to 8 miles in, 40, 50 hours, like minimum a week. Like you're talking about knocking that out in 3 days. Like these people are paying me to lift weights with them. I just need to apply this same blue collar work ethic to this. This is really a thing. Bro, I was like, no one's going to be able, like, no one can hold me, dude. Like, I know
That was
it.
what year roughly?
99.
So that's before social media, the internet, any of that stuff. So you were just freaking hustling word of mouth, basically.
Word of mouth, going to like little breakfast meetings and doing like the old school networking, bro. Like, yeah, I came up with this. First off, I got to be obsessed about my craft. I've always competed. I started competing in powerlifting when I was 17. I did my first bodybuilding show when I was 20 or 21. I've competed all the way till like 2 years ago, 2-3 times a year, drug free, never touched anything. And I've taken my body to 13 covers, multiple 700-pound squats. Like, bro, I've been competing this entire time, pushing myself, testing, trial and error. And so like I always kind of looked at it like that. I was always signing up to do something, pushing myself. And I got on this narrative of like, when I create and when I do what I'm supposed to do, nothing's going to be the same. And it's just a fact. It's not. Like my family will never be the same. The financial IQ I taught my parents, the financial IQ I'm teaching my kids, that I had to teach my damn self first. You can't change anybody if you don't change first. It's been like very, very like, I thought it would take my whole life. And I still think it's a lifelong pursuit to be that person that changes everything. But it's clear that it's changed now. And I'm super proud of that. And I locked onto that narrative like pretty young. So when I started personal training and it started working, I was in that small space for 3 years, man. Like it wasn't like I was looking like some unbelievable fitness star. I'm also not on drugs. So I don't look like the dudes that, are getting the love at the local gym, that are winning the big shows. And, I remember it's like a different gatekeeping system then. There's no internet, dude. It's like you got to become good at your craft locally. I used to say, I got to be good on the east side of Columbus before I can even be one of the best in Columbus. I got to be one of the best in the Columbus before I can be one of the best in the region. I got to be the best in one of the region before I can be the best in the US. People now, they're like, yo, I'm putting fitness in my name and I'm international fitness star. Like it's just a different situation. I had a 10-year process of building my craft before I even started in the supplements, which is how a lot of people know me. I started a supplement brand in 2008 called MusclePharm with my friend at the time, Brad Pyatt. And, that then trajectory. So I have a 10-year block where I am the local trainer that is living the dream of lifting weights and getting paid, who was a coal mine. My last job at a W-2 was from AEP. They owned the coal mine that I worked in. Like that was the last actual job that wasn't a corporation that I created and paid myself. So it's like, it's been an interesting, that was like the early, I have like multiple lives. I got like the back home blue collar kind of life, like trying to figure it out. I have the personal training block of time, which is like me being like local and working on my craft. And then from 2008 to 2015, I have what I call like my MusclePharm years, which is raising capital, building a business, selling, multiple products all over the world, doing deals with, Tiger Woods, Arnold Schwarzenegger, UFC.
And
like
MusclePharm, that's like the green and black. That was green and black color scheme, right? I remember MusclePharm.
Yeah, correct.
I used to use that protein. So is that still a business? I don't even know. I haven't followed along with MusclePharm in years.
I sold my percentage in 15, and I do believe that they do sell, like whoever owns it now, they do sell some of it. Like I'm one of those people, like once I cut a situation and leave, I don't really like follow the process. But yeah, I was one of the co-founders, like, let's start this, let's build it. It was crazy. We caught the UFC at the right time. Like I said, I did deals with, I had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tiger Woods, and it wrote all of the programming for us for bodybuilding.com. So the Get Swole plan, the squat every day, the blueprint, the busy diet, that's all my creations and understanding of like from training. Cause I legitimately the only person on the planet that I'm aware of that has learned from Louis Simmons and members at Westside Barbell in person, because I live in Columbus, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I was business partners with him. I went to his house for Christmas for like 10 years in a row. So it's like, I have a unique perspective of being around some one name people in the industry that I learned from directly. Like I sat down and said, what happened on this, and this training protocol, and this guy that you trained with, and this, and like I studied those things because I didn't have the internet, man. I'm reading all this stuff. I'm consuming it. I'm trying it. And so I'm one of the more unique people because of that.
No, that's cool, man. And there's no, like, people from the outside looking in, they just assume it's an overnight success, but like no one's going to be mindful of you putting in the reps, working out after hours after you've been working the coal mine all day long. Like you were still training back then.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knows the reps that you were putting in with the studio, teaching people how to do a bicep curl for an hourly payment. Like nobody sees that and they just take it for granted, but you recognize it. I mean, it's close to your heart. It's near and dear to you. So like for you, when did it seem like things took off? Like what was the aha moment? Was there an aha moment, or was it just a simple compounding over time, putting in the reps?
Straight up, I'm going to say honestly, dude, like I understood consistency at a young age. I am not that talented. Now, I'm not the best lifter in my own gym, not the most jacked. I'll give some people a run for their money because I don't miss. Like that's like my game, right? I realized early that people aren't consistent. Even great people sometimes. Like I'm like, ooh, okay, they're good at this, but I'll still beat them eventually because they're just not consistent. And so the aha moment was me understanding that early in my life. Like I'm talking like 15, 16, like, oh, okay, maybe there's a skill, like we'll use basketball as one of my first loves. Like, okay, I'm willing to put in more work than this person, but their skill or they're tall or whatever, they're beating me because of that, not because of this. When I put it in on the gym, I was like, oh, okay, people can't stay to this. And I love it. There's some opportunities here because that's not really that hard for me. And I understand that, especially because I'm not going to get fast results. I don't take drugs. I got to compound this situation, right? And Arnold said it real young, like, yo, everything he just did in the gym, he applied it to life and business. So to me, I was like, I'm just going to carry that through, right? I picked up on that. And so the aha moment for me was, and this is going to sound funny because I've really accomplished some kind of crazy things. Well, I was paying my bills with my own studio, my own gym. Bro, I was already successful. I made it. Everything after that's been fucking just icing. So that my whole, like, you have to think from my lens, I'm underground, 600 feet, shoveling coal with my back rubbing the ceiling. 2 years later, I'm paying all my bills relatively easy. None of it's easy, but I'm like having success and building confidence, lifting weights, which by the way, I'd never met anybody that did this job. There's no resources, there's no internet. And like, if it just stayed there, and I got that business to where I was making like 120, like pretty young. It's like, I'm making six figures. I'm doing what I love to do. I got my own spot. It needs some work. I needed to invest and make it better. But like, I already felt successful. You couldn't come down and say like, oh, G didn't make it. Motherfucker, I made it. So then as I just continued to compound that mentality, and as I got better and got around some, I had some clients that were business people, which helped me a ton. Because people that can afford personal training, even back then I was only charging $35 a session, but I was around people that was doing well. So I started picking up on some of their stuff. I started reading a lot of Andrew Carnegie stuff. I started really self-educating, man. Like I was terrible in school. I got a 13 on my ACT, 2.1. I've read books. I have a huge library at my house. I'm really into that, like development. I was like, I got to develop myself because the things that I want to learn and I need to know about this financial wealth and building business, like I'm interested in it. So I want to study it because I know it's going to make my whole family better. And so the aha moment was early for me. Oh, okay. this is like, I already reached probably further than most people thought. By the way, I didn't ask anybody what they thought. I didn't fucking care. I
Yeah.
only cared what I thought, what I believed. Here's what I also realized. People can I look in people's eyes when I tell them things kind of on purpose sometimes to fuck like with them. They can't believe like you believe, bro. You can't expect them to have the same conviction. And people's like their dreams die there a lot. Hey
Mm.
mom, I think I want to do this. And she goes, oh, well, and she loves you. But my mom didn't do this. I never really told her, but she probably wouldn't have. But regardless, this is where a lot of the dreams die. You tell your uncle you want to do something. He goes, man, I don't know. Like this guy couldn't do that. Why you think you, and it's already dies. Man, I was just making moves. I was working. I was keeping my head down. I didn't expect for anything to happen overnight. I was just trying to get good at the craft. I still operate that way. I'm like real about, early morning routines, being very diligent, consistent, giving stuff. I mean, I try to be patient, even though I want things to happen faster. But I know how I got here, man. I'm teaching it. Passionate about teaching it. Some people don't want to sign up for it though. They think they want to sign up for the end part, but they don't want to sign up for the part to get you there. And I'm trying to do a better job of letting people understand that it ain't an overnight thing. It was 10 years of me being like an animal out here to even get the opportunity to start the supplements. The supplement thing was extremely difficult, bro. And I got my ass handed to me all over the place. And then basically, when I sold my percentage, the company was kind of falling apart and I kind of had to start over. So everything from 2015 to now, talking 10, 11 years, I just had to reimagine, rebuild, start over, new supplement brand, my own app, found a developer, like way before that was even the thing. Everybody got an app now. I found a developer in 15, built my own app, signed with Reebok, was with them for a little while, redid once my non-compete was up, created a whole new supplement brand called Max Effort Muscle, like only direct to customer. I don't want to sell in retailers no more. And I've been building those and kind of like my infrastructure here with my office and my gym and the island and everything for the last like decade, man. It's been crazy.
No, I love it, man. I love the long game legacy, like you were talking about earlier. I feel like, especially when you're coming from a bodybuilding background, like that just kind of comes by default, especially if you go the natural route. Because like you said in the beginning, when you're natural, like you're not getting 20 pounds of muscle gain per year. Like you're not looking drastically different every single time you step on stage, especially if you compete every year. Like
Yep.
you're fighting for 2 pounds of muscle,
Facts.
And
like facts.
People talk shit on natural bodybuilders all day long saying, hey, you're not actually natural. You're taking a bunch of gear. You're just not honest with it. But like people that are natural know when people are natural.
Oh, you can see it, bro. Yeah.
And like I take so much pride in the fact that I am, and I hold it in such high regard when people are like knowing that about you. It's like you are playing the long game. Like you will keep getting better every single year. You've got that just ingrained in your aura. And then that transcends the sport and applies to every single thing you do. Like my superpower as a human is my ability to just wake up and freaking Groundhog Day grind whatever the given task is every damn day of my existence. Like that's my superpower. And I feel like a lot of that stems from lessons learned in natural bodybuilding,
Oh, yeah. Listen, you're fighting for that couple pounds. And I was always, man, I learned from some great doctors on the diet side too. Dr. Eric Serrano, Dr. Mari Di Pasquale. Dr. Pasquale wrote the anabolic diet. I was able to email him a bunch of questions. I was always trying to create drug-like results and not taking drugs. So I understand insulin manipulation. I'm my own science project, man. I've been this whole thing. Even when I went to Westside and learned from Louis and those guys, like I applied some of the things I learned there on my own with like more of a Bulgarian principles on squatting every day, but with band tension and rotating them and doing all like, bro, I've been in the trenches myself and then actually going on the platform and showing it. And I'm not some like world champion level guy. I mean, I was on 13 covers when that was a thing. So that was pretty cool. I mean, that was really fun to like go to Barnes and Nobles and pick myself up on a fitness cover or whatever and squatted 700 at 242, 220, 198, and 181. The last time I squatted 700 at 181 was at 44. And I did a bodybuilding show the day before. So that's like, wild. Bro, I've been pushing myself. I went one time, did an Olympic lifting meet on a Friday, a bodybuilding show on Saturday, and a powerlifting meet on Sunday. I called it the Muscle Trifecta in 2015. I pushed myself on the limits on all this stuff. I'm not really great at any of it, to be straight. I'm just good enough to like compete in all of it. And that's been kind of like my superpower is I'm always looking for the edges of how I can push and how I can also understand how to get better results for the general, I would say like, not really the general public because it's like people that care way more about fitness than that. But
Yeah.
I do have like a lot of ex-athletes and people that follow my programs and really like fuck with my stuff. And it's because I think I've searched out for some ways and like some boundaries that can keep some normalization within the programming and their diet. Like they can still drink beer on Friday and Saturdays. They can still get better each week. Like I've got some things I've figured out, man. I love drinking pints of Guinness. I got it on tap in my house. Like I'm a dude who's still out here living. I got 3 kids. Like they're almost all grown now, but it's like I haven't been just like huddled up eating out of Tupperware. I've
Yeah.
been building business. I've been up early. It's like, but this is what I do. It wasn't like ever, I don't know, it wasn't ever really a question. I was just glad that I got a chance to actually like for it to be my profession. And then when I understood, wait, okay, this can be my profession and I just got to apply what I like my work ethic that I've learned as a kid. I just felt like I've been dangerous for like 25, bro.
And how old are you now?
I'll be 48 this year.
So you're in an interesting position in that you were getting into all this. You built the momentum. You built the brand initially before the internet, social media, the marketing engine that is now.
Mm-hmm.
And you are now on the other side of that, seeing how it's all run the game in that regard, especially the supplement industry, the fitness industry. Like, what do you think? I mean, has that been a positive and negative? Is that making the barrier to entry better, worse? Like, just kind of talk to me about that evolution.
Yeah, I signed up for Twitter in 2010. So my brand was starting to take off right then. And that's when I said, okay, I need to create content that's going to create retention. I was really the first person straight up that gave away consistently free workouts and matched up programming with stacks on bodybuilding.com. I basically like brought that to the industry. We sold millions and millions of dollars. I had, dude, hundreds of thousands of people doing my workouts all over the world buying stacks from us. I'm the one that, went to Arnold, went through every take of pumping iron, brought it back to him with, a new sizzle reel, him voicing it over, me creating all the programs with him, the blueprint to mass, the blueprint to cut, like all of that's from like my understanding of programming. And so the internet opened up a whole world for me. And I was early to it because I was already a capable professional. See, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd already had 10 years in the game and then really I've done the math on this. It was like 13.7 years. I had my biggest opportunity and I fucking killed it because I was prepared because I ain't missed more than a week's workout since I was 16. Like I'm real out here on that. So it's like, one of those things where I was prepared for it. I was ready. I killed it. I got my idol to be my business partner. I wrote the programs with them. Like every dream you could imagine as a bodybuilder, I got to live it straight up, train at Golds, do all that stuff. Right. And so it's one of those things where, the internet, like that doesn't happen if I don't have that opportunity. I signed up at the right time. I offered the proper amount of value and I was extremely consistent. It's definitely more saturated now. I don't even know, like, look, I hope some of your people go, oh, I don't even know Cory G. Like I'll go follow him and I can see what he's about. But I'm really just at the point where I have a good fan base that I've offered a ton of value to for 15 years now that have followed me places and, supported the companies I've been building. I'm really just getting up every day thinking, man, I hope new people find me, but how do I meet my customer where they're at and what do they need from me to continue this process? I got them in college. Now they're 32, got 2 kids and a job and a lot of excuses. How can I help them, through this process to continue them to be motivated and healthy in that regards? But yeah, social media was huge for me. I mean, I've literally been on it for now 16 years and, I had a good following for a long time and it's very loyal.
Hello, y'all. Robert Sikes, the founder of the Savage Perspective Podcast, the host of the Savage Perspective Podcast. As y'all know, we do not roll ads throughout the podcast. This is not an ad technically, but I'm going to throw it in there just in case. The reason I don't put ads in here is because I don't want y'all to be distracted with minutes and minutes of just irrelevant content for me to make a buck. That's not good for y'all. I don't want to be inauthentic like that. However, I would be remiss if I didn't point y'all towards a great resource. So all of the guests that I bring onto the show are designed to give y'all insight, give you information, give you value that allows you to optimize your health from a ketogenic standpoint. I've built out a resource that takes everything I've learned over the years as a podcast host, as a professional natural bodybuilder, as a coach in the space, and I've compiled all that into a very, very comprehensive system, which also includes a community, a membership community from an accountability standpoint. It's got a ton of resources like a free workout app. It's got a AI that's built out based off of all of my content, so it's not giving you conflicting information. And the program has over 150 videos that breaks down all the details as to how to manipulate your macros, optimize your metabolism, build muscle, lose fat, all the good stuff that y'all are striving to do. And also, since I don't do ads on the podcast, all of the affiliate discount links that I have for various different brands live in this program as well. That literally pays for the cost in and of itself. So if you're interested in doing a deeper dive, actually using these tools and reaching your highest self, check out ketobodybuilding.com.
What would you do? I don't like canned questions, but I feel like this is a relevant question for you
Sure.
because you have the experience prior to the internet. If you were to like start from scratch now, knowing what you know, but not having the connections that you did, like what would that landscape look like for you? Like how would you leverage your skill set to recreate what you've built thus far?
I would do the same exact thing, but I just now would do it on social media, meaning people were drawn to me because I was always getting better. I competed like legitimately almost every quarter, like when I was a trainer, and no one knew me, right? Like powerlifting meets in the wintertime, multiple bodybuilding shows a year, paying for like random ass photographers to do fitness shoots because I've had these, I was aspiring to be on bodybuilding.com or in magazine articles or whatever. And I eventually ended up going to New York and doing some of that stuff or whatever. But like, man, I was always getting ready for something. I've had the date on the calendar is extremely powerful. Like right now, we have a contest at Max Effort on my app. Like I give away a Mercedes-Benz, I give away a Rolex, I give away cash. I have a big event at the island. We'll have thousands of people do this contest. And it's like, I'm giving them a structure. It's 10 weeks. Most normal people ain't doing a meal. They're not doing a prep for a show. It's like, that's not going to happen. They need concentrated boundaries where they can get better. And I've changed thousands of people's lives by doing these transformation contests. And it's like, I just always was doing that for myself. There's nothing like, oh my gosh, I just watch him go from 220 to 175. He's crazy shredded. This dude don't take drugs. I wonder what he knows. Oh my gosh, I just saw him then go back up to 198 and he competed in this. Oh man, like now he's doing this cover. I'm a practitioner, man. Like I showed up. I'm not telling you. I'll tell you if you want to listen. I'm showing you. And that's the same shit I would do now. I'd be like, yo, this is just like who I am, what I do. Watch it. You know what I mean? Like, not saying I'm the best at it. Not saying I know everything. I'm saying watch it. I'm a practitioner. I'm about it. I'm tweeting about it. I'm fucking about it. And I'm about it tomorrow. And I'm about it the next day. And there's a seriousness to me that's been this way since I understood it was possible. And I have this whole thing about pack a lunch. Like it comes from like the coal mine stuff. Like, yo, I'm packing the lunch every day and you're not getting my fucking spot. And if you slip, I'm taking yours and I'm not giving it the fuck back. So that's my mentality. It's a competitive, but I don't even like get up and go, I'm like in competition. I'm in competition against me, but I'm climbing the ranks on whatever I'm pursuing. And it's really hard to take it away from me, dude, because are you going to still get up the next day and then the next? I know I'm going to, and it sounds like you're going to. But like, people crumble, bro. That's just not me. Until I give up, like I'm done. Like I hang them up, which I don't know if that's a thing for me, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you distill it down to like the bare bones basics, especially in the realm of fitness and nutrition, like nothing that you or I are doing is anything fancy. Like it's nothing novel. No. I mean, there's no like crazy food, meal prep. I mean, I do a ketogenic diet, but like at the end of the day, it's all just real food. So real food, real intensity, real consistency. Like that's literally it. Like just repetitive, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, very repetitive. And I think that's where a lot of people, so I always say like, look, I don't know who said that you should be able to have a fucking party on Tuesday and that you're going to make like, oh, you should eat pizza, drink beer. Like that should be the way your life is. Like you feel entitled to that. Cool. But you're going to feel like shit. Like I never thought that made sense to me. Like it made more sense to go, well, when I need to fuel and do things for performance, I just do that because I get the result. And then, Friday night with my family, they want to go out after they was playing baseball back in the day. We're going to get ice cream. Like I did all that stuff. My wife wants to go out. She drinks Guinness too. Want to go have a beer. Cool. Like I just tried to say like, when I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And when I'm doing that, I'm doing that. And like, don't really cross those boundaries and you'll get what you want. I'm also like, man, I've been on this narrative for years that I don't think you have to like all the way trade one thing for the other thing. Like I think that it takes a lot to make it all work. I think the early mornings, I think the discipline when the discipline needs to be, I think, shutting it off when you need to shut it off. But I believe that why can't you have it all? Why can't you have muscles, have a good family, build a business, not be a fucking asshole, build wealth, create, like, why can't you do all that stuff? Like, to me, I always kept questioning it. Like, a lot of guys will get the money, but their family falls apart, or they'll get the family, but they say it ain't about the money, and, or this and that. And I just always thought, like, I know it's going to be difficult, but why can't I pursue to try to get it all? And look, I've made a ton of mistakes, bro, and got my ass handed to me in business and a bunch of stuff. But I've been married, 20 some years. My kids are 20, 18, and 14. They've been around this whole time. Obviously, as I've been building these businesses, of course, I've been busier than I've wanted to be at times, but I really never missed any major stuff. I made them realize they're super important to the process. They come here and train every day, pretty much. AG's in college at Ohio State right now, but like he'll swing through because it's not that super far away. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I just always thought that I didn't have to give up one thing for the other thing, in my opinion.
I think that's key, man. I mean, people throw around this notion of like work-life balance, and I've always said balance is bullshit. Like by definition,
I agree.
If one thing is on the rise with the balance model, then something else is on the decline, which
For sure.
And I've kind of adopted this approach of tensegrity. You know what tensegrity is?
Like integration.
Yeah, tensional integrity. It's like a architectural term, I guess. Basically, things under tension create more strength and a sense of integrity in that strength. And I feel like when I dissect my life, I've got 5 primary pillars, and they're all bound together, and there's tension between them, but they're all symbiotic in nature. Like ideally, if one grows, they all grow. One may get focus and demand more time, attention, and discipline and detail in a given chapter, but they're all still moving the whole ship forward. And I feel like that's a much more approachable model in my mind.
I mean, I feel like we're pretty aligned on that, man. Like I just have integrated all of these things, and part of the integration is teaching my kids how to go pursue what they want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be in fitness. It can be whatever, right? It's like I wanted to create an environment where dad does what he loves to do, but it's clear that I had to work my ass off to get here and be extremely consistent. And I have set up a level of wealth that will allow them to at least take to the time to figure out. They're not going to be forced into something because they got to pay the rent. Like I want everybody to really take their time. And I have business meetings once a week with each of my 2 older kids. They've requested it because they're like, Dad, I want to work on this and work on that. Can you help me? Of course, because I do some one-on-one business coaching. Like I really enjoy that. So I kind of just added them to my schedule. My youngest one, who is probably going to be in fitness actually, starting to kind of chirp at him a little bit about similar things. And it's like, I just really enjoy these adult convos based around pursuing what they want to do. It has nothing to do with what dad accomplished. It's more about like, hey, I understand these certain principles. I think we can apply them to what you love. And I just hope, that you get to go pursue what you want to do. That's all I want. Everyone I grew up with just didn't like their job. Everybody got to work, bro. Like everybody got to work, and you need to be in pursuit of something to be happy. So it's like, that's part of the stuff I'm really proud of right now is like these type of things that are happening because I've been dreaming about these things and working for them for a really long time.
And I feel like it's a privilege to be able to, I mean, you're not like guaranteed that right. Like it's not an expected right to be able to live the life that you're passionate about every single day. You got to work toward that. You got to put in the reps. You got to make that reality. It's not like going to be handed to you on a silver platter. And when you pursue that passion to make it your reality, to make it your day and day, I mean, as you know, there's hard days, there's easy days, there's days that are not pleasant. When you've been on this pursuit of growing the thing that you're passionate about, especially since you've had kids,
Yeah.
has there been chapters as a father where you were like, man, I don't know how it's gonna go. Like there may be some darkness up ahead here. Like, how do you stay on the straight and narrow and keep your head up for them when things are looking dark for you?
Man, straight up, I became a beast once AG was born. It's different. Like, cause all right, I've been thinking this in my head, probably not saying it out loud about the trajectory thing, about I'm changing the whole fucking thing. Then he pops out and you're like, oh shit, there's really another mouth to feed here. And this is the kid that I think I'm about to change everything for. It just changed something about me in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I started MusclePharm. I think Rachel was pregnant with Madeline and AG was like almost 3, and I gave all my clients away and fucking started this thing. I mean, it was like, probably did not look like the thing I should have been doing, right? Rachel had just quit her job as a teacher because she was going to stay home. This was before the supplements. Like, this is when I was just personal training, and we saved her salary for a year. I cashed out her 401 to pay the mortgage for 9 or 10 months and said, I'm about to go. Bill Phillips was a guy who started EAS back in the day. And he was a guy I looked up to, and I was like, trying to be my version of that. So I got to roll the dice, and I can always go back to personal training. See, that's the thing is, man, I already like kind of won and understood like I had that skill. So meaning like, okay, I can always go back to the coal mine because I'm good at it and I know how to work.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I was working on like just house money because that's probably what I was destined to do, to be honest. And it was like pretty natural for me. And then personal training was working to the point where I got to where then I could maybe shift into this thing. And I was like, well, I can always go back to that. So, I didn't really talk about fallback because when I make a decision, I don't really think about the fallback. I only think about winning. And I'm only putting stuff around on how it wins. And of course, there's going to be road bumps and you got to persevere, but it's still ultimately, if it's moving the right direction, I'm just thinking about how it wins. And so, but I always knew like I had these skills and I could go back. So yeah, when I made those decisions, like that wasn't the easiest thing because it was like a lot on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I just believe in myself. I've been working on my own self for a really long time, man, and really studying and really putting in early morning hours. And, I've been working out I worked out at 4 a.m. Monday through Friday for maybe 12 years. And I was at 5 a.m. for 5 years before that. I mean, you're talking about almost 20 years that I've been getting up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning and training. And I miss less than 5 times in a year for sure at that call time. So my stuff's been real locked for a long time. And so when I would embark on these kind of new situations, I kind of know what it takes. And I think that confidence has allowed me to make these big calls and just believe. You got to have that real belief in yourself. And, when you put forth like a relentless effort, I think the universe does conspire for you. And I've had a lot of those things where, man, I was like at my wit's end and I'm pushing all my chips in and I'm working my ass off. And I kind of like almost let off a little bit to kind of take a deep breath. And then something kind of appears like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Like that happened a lot with the island too. Like I'd be looking at the dude that was my like Tyler Sealover, my main guy, helped me like develop it. We'd be just running into crazy roadblocks. And I'd just be telling myself like, nah, man, this is me. Like this is it. Like, and I'd let off of it. And then all of a sudden some random engineer dude would kind of pop out of nowhere that knows the exact answer I need or something. I'd just be kind of looking at him like, bro, like, come on. So yeah, that stuff's happened a lot in my life. But I think when you're super disciplined, the whispers of the intuition are louder.
Yeah.
And I just don't think people understand that.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, man. Like I put a lot of stock in like burn the boat mentality. Like some people have a plan B for everything. And there's like always this get out of jail free card that just keeps them in this state of mediocrity. I mean, like you got marriage, look at marriage, like more marriages end in divorces these days. It seems crazy. More people give up on their New Year's resolutions. Like when you just have a non-negotiable set in life and you're like, hey, look, this is going to work come hell or high water. I'll figure out how to make it a reality. Then you just start seeing opportunities you wouldn't see elsewhere, And like,
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I
100%.
just don't have a plan B. Like, it just has to work.
I just also kind of articulate it like this. I say, I already made that decision. So people are like, how do you still get up at 4? Well, I get up at 3:30, but I start at 4. I'm like, I don't know. I don't understand the question. And they'll kind of look at me. I do all this shit on purpose just to fuck with people. And they're like, well, like, how do you still like do it? Like when you're tired and stuff. I'm like, see, you don't understand. I don't think of it like that. I already made the decision and I know what I get for the decision. So until I don't want the result that I get from the decision, I go with 4. I have some rules, like, cause I got hurt a couple times, like not listening to myself. So if I fly in from somewhere late and it's past midnight, I'll, sleep till 6 and then train or something. Like I have some little rules that I follow just as I got older, just cause I'm not being an idiot. But yeah, I would come off a plane, bro, and like literally just sometimes just stay awake and still be here cause I had my powerlifting team trained at 4 a.m. is what it was. I had a drug-free powerlifting team, had some very, very strong guys that I like. My programming that I created on my app and that originally started at bodybuilding.com is what I programmed for the powerlifting team. And then we competed, multiple times a year. And there was one session where I had 12 guys front squat 405. Like that's the base level. Like if you couldn't at least deadlift 500 pounds, you couldn't even really fucking lift with us. And there were some really, really strong drug tested guys. It was really cool. Multiple 700-pound squatters, a lot of 600-pound squatters, all different ages and weight ranges. And we had about a 10-year run of 4 a.m. crew. It was pretty epic.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, especially when it comes to just, logistics, getting up, getting the workout in first thing of the day. Like that's what I do too. I wake up 3 or 4 in the morning every single day, train first thing. It's like there's no question if it's going to happen or not. And I feel like some people need to make that a priority, but they wait till the end of the day. And then by the end of the day, their willpower tank is
depleted. You're giving up. Happening. Bro, I love this and it's my job and that could happen to me. So if I'm saying that and that's true, how the fuck do you think your passion or love for it or willpower is going to beat a person that talks like I talk? I'm just telling you that's like because life gets in the way. Because I might be fitness for my job, but I still run companies and I'm a dad. They might happen to be fitness companies, but it's still companies. There's still stuff going on. I still got practices to go to, coaching rec basketball, like catching reps when AG was a pitcher. Like there's stuff to do. So it's like, you can't think that you're going to fight through all that stuff. I just think you're crazy if that's what you think. And look, not everybody wants to train in the morning or can train in the morning. Maybe they start at 5 or whatever. But to me, it's been something that it would be really hard for me to stop. Once again, like once I kind of look at it like a science project, once I understand, kind of the stimuli and what I get back for that, it's kind of hard for me not to know that. That's why I really push people to kind of get in my process of what I teach. Once they have the education around how I teach, my diet, my training, my conditioning, all those things, it's like you can't, and supplementation, you really can't unknow it. It's like now you're choosing not to do it. A lot of people don't have the education. They're confused. I don't get cute with my stuff. It's real direct. Follow this, you get this. And then you get to choose. And so like that's kind of just how I am in general.
That's good. I mean, more black and white when you know. If you deviate, it's because you're just willfully going against the goal.
You need to work on that. You know what I mean? Which everybody does. Like, man, I let myself, like, I just took like a little bit of a break, not from training, but just from like being so serious about my diet. I haven't done that in a long time. It's about 2 months where I was like still eating, probably on the scale of things, it's probably still really healthy for the most of the world. But for me, it wasn't that strict. And I let myself get back up. I mean, I think I started my diet this year about 213, but I was like probably 215 or 216, like around the holidays. I just didn't weigh myself. I'm like 201 today. I'll go back down to like 185-ish, 180, whatever. But it's like my body just kind of healed up because it was a little bit banged up. I got a little tricep thing, I don't got a labrum in this hip. I got the super spinatus ripped off in this one. Like, and I've still been pushing pretty good. So it was like, I could train a little lighter, eat a little bit more food, kind of allow myself sleep a little bit more, and then kind of come back at it. And that's what I've been doing. It's been really good. I think that's good
though, man. Like training as a consistent non-negotiable is key.
Yes.
But I feel like allowing your body to intentionally go from higher levels of body fat to lower and kind of modulate that is way better from a health and hormonal standpoint than just like staying at a set percentage nonstop.
Well, and that's what I think. I think I stayed too lean for too long because I just like the way I feel. I don't compete anymore, but we did like an 8-foot rim basketball league here in the warehouse. Like my kids play in it. Like I'm playing against kids, like literally kids, like kids are like high school, college age. So like athletically, I can still move really well because I've just taken care of myself and still jump and do all that stuff. And it's like, so I was staying light because I was doing a lot of that stuff. And I kind of shifted less from caring that my bench was 300 or, you know, my squat was a certain amount, more towards like, I want to keep obviously my strength as high as possible, but I was doing a lot more athletic stuff. And so that's why I stayed light, because when I jump at 205 and when I jump at 180, it's clearly a big difference, especially like landing, right? Like even in the warehouse at 8 feet, I'm trying to dunk on somebody, like, which is fun as hell, by the way. We called it the low rim league. It was an absolute blast. We put it on YouTube. It's so fun.
Love it. Love it. Why do you stay natural now, man? Because I feel like now, especially like the last 5 years, like TRT clinics are a dime a dozen. Everybody's kind of moving towards peptides, bioidentical hormones. Like it's so much more societally accepted now that it's just true. Like, I mean, people look at it like Tylenol. Any of it.
You know what's sad though is because I've legitimately had dudes be like, yeah, man, I'm clean. And I'll be like, all right, cool. I'm like, so you don't take nothing? Well, I just take like the testosterone my doctor gives me. I'm like, yo, that's still taking stuff. Like you're not natural because your hormones aren't fluctuating. They're just the same. Like whether he's creeping you up past like whatever dose, which, you know, everybody abuses the fuck out of that, bro. So it's like, what's a little upsetting. And I told my oldest son, all my kids are into the gym and they're pretty put together. And it's like, cause my daughter did gymnastics, so she's into the gym too. And my younger son's freaking pretty yoked up. My older son sat down with me when he started really getting kind of bricked up. And he's like, Dad, like, why didn't you do it? Like, and I said, I was like, kind of got emotional for a second. Cause I was like, cause I knew I was about to have this convo one day. I knew it. I knew you were going to ask me. And I wanted my answer to be, it wasn't, I did all of these things and I had to do that. Because then I'm telling you straight up, bro, there's no way that my youngest son specifically would probably be able to stay away from it if I was on it. It would be impossible because he looks just like me, but he has like better training, unlimited supplements and understanding in his own. We have our own gym, like that's hardcore, like. So his physique's going to crush mine because of his resources, and he works his ass off. He was downstairs doing pull-ups, listening to David Goggins last night on his own. I'm like, this is fucking amazing, right? But the reality is I knew I just didn't want that to be my narrative. And I thought I could be a better trainer and a greater practitioner if I could find ways to get myself to get like drug-like results without it, to understand the body truly, probably like more than people even understand that I do, the way that I just have operated all these years. And yeah, I really would think about that. I just didn't want to be able to not tell them all the way the truth. And so, yeah, I stay. And yeah, nowadays I'm like, dude, I got my testosterone checked like a year or so ago and it was like 430. Every time I've got it checked, it's been in the 400s. Mine's never really changed.
Yeah, I've never had super high testosterone. I'm around 400 to 600 as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Great. So like, I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah, and like I don't know that when I was younger it was even crazy high because I wasn't some like big. I graduated high school 165 pounds. Like, so you know, and I would compete at 74, 80, 85, like in those ranges most of the time. So it's like, you know, I did put on some quality muscle as I got older for sure. Right before I hurt my shoulder, I was like 192 and I had like a vein on my ab and I was pretty fucking jacked and also pretty strong. So it's like I definitely got to some levels that looked like I was probably on drugs, especially if you didn't know how much I weighed. I probably weighed like, I don't look crazy like that at 190, but I'm only 5'11". So, you know, a good pump and some thin skin, you can look pretty fucking juiced out. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, I don't know. I have no reason to try it now. I don't know why I would. Like, to me, it still would feel weird. Here's the problem is the people selling the programs not telling you the full truth. Yeah. And I just know how like elite my stuff works on myself and on my people. And I don't have to like, there's no gray area. And I just never wanted to be that guy. And some people are okay with that. I'm actually friends with a lot of people that take drugs and they're just honest about it. Like, dude, I bring up Mark Bell a lot because he said that a lot in just, on the internet.
And he's super open about it, obviously.
Yeah. And I have other
That's
powerlifting friends that are super open about it. Like, and at the end of the day, like, I'm still their friend.
Yeah.
It just wasn't my way. And I don't think they really get mad when I talk about it neither, because like they know that's the way I chose. So I don't really look down upon it. I only look down upon it if it's like very gray area and you're taking somebody's money and you're really not telling them the whole truth. That's where I would get, or they're like, man, I want to do that guy's program because he deadlifts 600 for 10 and you only did it for 1. I'm like, bro, that dude's running all kinds of fucking gear. He doesn't even know what he's doing. So it's like that stuff is a little frustrating for me, but honestly, like I got over it a long time ago and just realized I think I can carry this torch of natural guys. Here's the thing is, dude, my shit ain't going away.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been looking crazy for a long time when I want to. That shit ain't going nowhere because it's real.
Yeah.
It ain't rented.
Yeah, it's quality for sure. And I feel like, I don't care if people take stuff. I feel like people should be transparent and honest with whatever they're doing for sure. But my biggest frustration is that the masses, like the people who you're trying to help, trying to improve their diet, nutrition, lifestyle factors, discipline factors, like they just assume that whatever I'm doing must not be applicable to them because I'm definitely taking steroids. And it's like, no, bro, this is freaking natural. This is what's possible when you put your nose to the grindstone and work. Don't sell the human body short. You are capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for when you freaking do the work and stop making excuses for yourself.
Yeah, I got a lot of that over the years. And like, one, it's a compliment that you're getting, like people think you're on drugs. But then I answer like this. I don't ever really answer back on like bad comments. I've never really been that way because I don't really got time for that. But I'll just answer back on my kids' lives. I'll never touch anything. That's it. That's the answer. You want to debate that one, then I must be a pretty bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really that important to me because I do hold the flag for the natural community on what I've been able to. Dude, I went to the top of the mountain and I never took anything. Like, you know what I mean? I walked in the biggest bookstores and saw myself on the covers. I was at, Venice Beach launching products with a guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I swam with the sharks at fucking Westside Barbell underneath the barbell. Like I've been in the trenches with the best of the best and just never had to do that. And I think everyone respected it and they loved that I loved it as much as I do and that I'm as crazy as I am in my own way, right? Never really like fit in any of these places, to be honest. Like probably look more like a CrossFitter than anything, to be straight, which is kind of funny. But it actually helped, I think, when CrossFit got popular. My deal with Reebok was I got signed to a contract with them, but I was in the non-CrossFit fitness kind of thing they were building back then. And it was like they actually helped make the 180 fitness guy like more popular, I think, which was kind of funny.
And you've seen that with like the classic division now too. Like people don't necessarily gravitate towards just the mass monsters in general. There's just so much dishonesty online with social media. I mean, so many filters and AI crap now. It's like the human body is capable of so much more than people give it credit for. You just got to put in the work. Like you and I have said this whole podcast, like what we're doing nutritionally speaking or training program wise, it's nothing like that's reinventing any wheel. It's just a consistent effort over time.
Bro, not at all. Like, but that's where like, one, the comparisons, the whole situation right now. I talk to my kids a lot about that. I think the bill of goods that people are selling ain't the right thing. A lot of times it's not even true. I don't know, man. I'm like trying to keep I've adapted with the new way of things for sure. And I've benefited greatly from it. But I think I operate like kind of like an old school dude. And I try to like, kind of instill that as much as I can in my family or in my circle that's around on like, yo, this person that you're comparing yourself to ain't even telling you probably the truth anyway. And like, you got to be patient in the process if you're really trying to build something, including your own body. You also got to have a realistic expectation of like, hey, you spent 10 years eating a bunch of bullshit. Like, in 10 days, it's not going to change. And so I think like I'm the bearer of bad news sometimes, but I also think that's part of the reason why I don't have maybe millions of people that follow me. I'm telling them what they need to hear, maybe not what they want to hear. And that's, that's sometimes a little different. So
that's better though, man. Like I don't have any viral freaking posts either. Like I don't have a massive following, but my messaging's been consistent since day one, and I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of stock to be put in that, man. So I think
Oh,
you're
for
fighting a good
sure.
fight, brother, for sure.
No, that's the plan, man. You got to. I just don't think for me, there's not really another way. I'm just like, just staying true and authentic. The people that fuck with me, they do. And I think I can offer a lot of value. And if they don't, they don't. And I've just been kind of on that tip this whole time and it continues to work. So it's like, listen, I feel so blessed with what I've been able to build, but I also know how I got here. I mean, nobody handed me nothing, man. I worked for it. I got some attaboys here and there, but the reality is like I pursued this on purpose. And
Hmm.
it's like, and I figured things out and I went through a lot of really difficult things and, came out on the other side and still things are still hard. It's the most saturated it's ever been right now. Anybody can be a fitness trainer and have their own supplement. Like it's different now. So it's like there's even those challenges to be like I don't really pay attention to what anyone else is doing, but it could be easy to be falling into that for sure.
Yeah. Well, what has you excited now, man? Like, what's your day consist of now? What's taking up your time and your focus, and where's the trajectory going?
Man, I'm the most excited about is what my kids are doing, bro. Like seeing them evolve and have similar mentalities is awesome. I'm super excited about building Max Effort and my community there to another level. I've got a great group of guys I work with here at the office. Like we have the way that our setup is now, you buy 3 products every month for $99. You get free swag and you get also automatically entered in to come to our events. And so, man, the events, having these people come from all over the country, and a lot of them been supporting me for like decade plus, and just like hearing their stories, hearing their confidence. Oh man, it's just like unbelievable. So really just trying to build something that I'm just straight up, bro. Like MusclePharm at the top is like 170 some. I started building this business. I had zero interest in doing that again. I'm not chasing
Hmm.
that. I have zero interest in trying to chase 100 million or this or fuck. I don't want any of that, bro. Like I want a quality business that I can actually make a difference with people. I know most of their names from seeing their orders for years. I see them in person. We have multiple events per year. I just wanted to build a community where I can actually make an impact. I've really been pulled to coach more, meaning like I have a group I coach every Wednesday night that's packed right now. I capped it at 25. Like when what was it like these like kind of fake groups where people are just taking people's money and telling them about shit. Like I was never into that, so I never really bought into it. But like organically, people started asking me to help them. So then I created a group. I call it the Next Level Group, Mindset and Prosperity. I've been doing that every Wednesday night for like a year and a half. Then I have some one-on-one clients that I help from all different industries. And so I've been really pulled to do that. I'm just teaching my old self, man. That's all I really am trying to do. Like a lot of these mentalities that have created wealth from a business standpoint for me or from the fitness initially. But, I've grown a lot of different things. I think I've started from zero to, 7 figures, maybe 4 or 5 times. And then the one that, did 8 and 9. So like I've experienced that multiple times in my life from just an idea to it being like a real situation. And so I feel like I have a lot to offer people from that standpoint because I just know what it takes.
And it's pretty cool, man. Hearing you say all that, it's obvious that at the end of the day, the fulfillment that you're truly striving for is coming more so from the relationships and making a meaningful difference than any monetary amount.
Here's what I say. It worked for me, dude. I know how it worked, but it worked for me. This is not up for debate anymore. Like I'm this guy, right? And I want to do the best job of trying to instill the people that were just like I was looking for what's this take? What do I need to do? How do I got to be? With my own lens, I can explain that to them. Whether they want to do it or not, it's up to them. But I feel a real need for that. I think that's I talked about having multiple blocks. This is the next block for me, which is going to be, I want paid for it. I'm not tripping on that. Like I want paid for my time, but I really feel like I have a lot of value to offer. I went and spoke at a big corporate event for the first time the other day. I speak to a lot of teams. I enjoy public speaking. I enjoy one-on-one coaching, group coaching. So I'm working on that kind of stuff. So I'm always going to do the fitness stuff, bro. Like that's just me. But there's this other component that's a close vertical of just still helping people in a different way. And so I've really enjoyed that. So yeah, really developing what my kids need me for, continuing to push myself physically, and then, have this component of coaching and building these companies that are fulfilling. That's really what I'm about. And I feel very thankful, to be honest.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, let's definitely keep the conversation going, brother. I mean, I got a lot of respect for Andrew. I'm glad he got us in contact.
Yeah, this was awesome.
On all fronts, and I enjoy the conversation, man. So where do people go to find out more about you and dive into your world?
Yeah, man, maxeffortmuscle.com or Cory G Fitness. Like I said, I've been at it for a while. So I had fitness in my name, I think, for it before the rest of the world. But it's Cory G Fitness on all platforms. I answer my Instagram probably the most if you guys need anything. But man, I appreciate it. It's exciting to talk with other people that are like-minded and that are building something great. So thank you.
Hey, thank you, man. So the island too, like, is that an event that people can go to? Like, is the gym private, public? Like, how does that work?
Everything that I got going on is private. So like the gym that I own here is called Old School Gyms, like a hardcore 1970s style gym. It was open to the public till about 5 years ago. I went kind of the West Side model, invite only. The island's a private property too. So like, but everything's accessible through the Mafia membership. So when people become a Mafia member, they can do the contest like I'm running right now to win the car. They can come to the events. And our first event's March 7th, which is called Beats and Barbells. We have a DJ at 4 a.m. at the gym, and then we have speakers after that, meaning like actual like training speakers and motivation. It's like a half a day, and then everybody goes to the Arnold Classic. And then June 27th, we have the island. It's called the Muscle Island Olympics. Deadlift contest, squat party, food, music. I got ferries of the boats running back and forth, picking people up. It's pretty sick, man.
I love it, man. Let's definitely run some deadlifts sometime. It'd be awesome.
I would love that. So thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, Cory. Take care, brother.
You got it, man. Peace.